Good morning, RLT, and everybody out there on YouTube. Yeah, so I don't know what the deal is with the. I mean, you can hear me fine. So I was playing around with. I had the my mic muted, unmuted. I was like trying different things. I don't know why the audio on that countdown isn't coming through. I mean, I hear it perfectly fine through my computer. For some reason, though, it's not. It's not broadcasting. You can see the video, but you can't hear it. Anyway, but you can hear me now, right? Let me just make sure that. Perfect. Cool. Okay. And I don't know why well, there we go. That goes away. Okay. So welcome. Happy Friday, real life traders, everyone out there on YouTube. Friday before the holiday weekend. So let's talk about what to expect today. Given that it's a Friday and right before a holiday weekend, likely to be some chop, some sideways movement. There's right now AMD is like the one thing that is jumping off the charts, literally, to me, which is everything else is kind of sideways, but AMD definitely getting a nice little pop. But we'll take a look at everything. But just in terms of your trading plans today, and just be patient. Again, it is a Friday before a holiday weekend, so it's likely to be a little slow. All right, we'll take a look at F as well, Lauren. So this is a beginner Friday. So we do these every couple times a month. Beginner Friday, we slow things down a little bit. We answer questions. We address some the needs of the newer traders, developing traders. So if you are new to real life trading, new to trading in general,
struggling a little bit, in the next hour that I'm with you, uh, please feel free to throw those questions in the chat. I'll see what I can do to answer them. Again, this is one of those Fridays, and it's a good time to do it because it is a holiday weekend. But it's one of those Fridays that is dedicated to all of you new traders, beginner traders, developing, what have you. So let me know if you have any questions. But right now, just make sure you should be looking at my chart of the S&P. Just give me a one in the chat, please, if just confirm that's what you're seeing. And we'll jump into, thanks, Win. Thanks. We'll jump into the analysis just on the broader markets. So what are we looking at? So if we take a look here, this price level. Good morning, Ron. If we look at this price level right here, right? Look left. So I always say, when you're trying to figure out what's going on now, look left. Okay. So if we look left and we come back to this point here and we just drop a line in here, okay, you can see how that was previous resistance here. It got broken here, but it then came back down, became resistance again, became resistance again. You can see all these, right up here, you can see all of these touch points where, price was really struggling to get through this level. Now, good news is, this purple line, this is that bearish trend line that we were in for, over a year, but we've broken out of that. But this level right here, which is right around, 4,200, right, is clearly established as an area of resistance, because of all the times that we had difficulty getting through it. It's nice that we got through it here, but we pulled right back down below it. Same thing here. We did finally we broke above it here. We got the close above it, and then we're right back down below it. So, what to expect, right? We really need to break out of that and do it with some conviction, and then look for a retest of it and then go back up. So today, what we're looking at is some inside price action, right? So here's yesterday's candle, doji candle, and then today we're just right inside yesterday's price action. So again, when you look at the broader markets and what they're doing, and then trying to come up with a trading plan for the day, just know that inside days typically represent chop. So there's going to be a lot of whipsaw, a lot of chop until price breaks the previous day's level, right? And what's interesting about yesterday is that, we had this really nice hammer candle here on Wednesday. And, yeah, it's bearish, but I mean, think about the amount of think about the amount of buying that came in here right off. And this is the daily 50, right? So not surprising that it came down here, bounced, but then the lack of follow through, right? That's the issue. So we had this nice hammer, even though it was a bearish candle, but we had a lot of buying come through, and then yesterday, lack of follow through. So we'll see if we can break above yesterday's price action. And again, just looking at this more of a, this lineup here is at, resistance level. But if you just look at the most recent price action, you could see that also this level right here, right? Again, looking left, just drop a line in here. You can see that clearly has this, we're struggling with this level right here. So basically around the 4170 area. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. So that was the S&P. We'll look at the NASDAQ. Zoom out a little bit. So NASDAQ, little different picture, right? Definitely looking a little more bullish than the S&P. We have broken. So here's this level right here that we have broken, this level right here, right? We did break above it, right? We got through it here, came back, retested it, and now we're pushing away from it. So nice look here on the NASDAQ. Definitely a different picture than the S&P. So S&P struggling a little bit with the price levels, but the NASDAQ just keeps pushing higher, right? I mean, NASDAQ. So what are we looking at for today? Let me zoom in here a little bit more. Don't want to zoom in that much, but so we did break above. So pre-market, we did break above yesterday's price action, right? So this is really nice. You know, got this hammer, then we get this retest gap up, and we close with a decent candle. We did not close above, or looks like it could be a little flat. The high of this candle, let's see, high of this candle, 79.25, and then the close. Yeah, so we did close above this, which is important. We did get a close just a little bit above this candle here yesterday. What we're going to be looking for here today is to see if we can push above this level here, right, and get some clear direction on the NASDAQ. Now, we zoom in or take a look at the 5-minute charts, right? Just what has been happening pre-market here on the ES, right? So we nice little push here, and then we sold off, and now we are coming back up. Same look here on the NASDAQ. So we'll see if we can keep pushing higher. Not really sure what what the sell-off was here. Maybe if anybody has, maybe there was some economic news, and we will check the Econo Day. So maybe that's because we do want to know if there are any announcements, anything coming out today in terms of the economy. Give me a second. I'm going to pull that up here and we'll take a look. Give me a second, move some things around. I'm working off my my laptop setup, so I've got some portable screens here, and I've just got to move things around a little bit when. I'm pulling up Econo Day on a different screen. I'll switch over in a second. Okay. So if you're not familiar, this is a great resource to it's econoday.com. Great resource for just getting, finding out if there's any Fed announcements coming out, any reports. So it looks like today, 8:30. I wonder if that was, let's see what time that was. Yep, so that was 8:30. So durable goods, maybe that was what caused the market to drop a little bit there. So it was falling 1.1%. Let's see, 3.2% rise. March, April. So that's probably what made the market drop a little bit there. Just the durable goods falling a little bit. So, but it dropped, it recovered. So nothing major there. But anyway, we can just keep an eye on. So there's international trade. This is at 8:30. So right now, the only one that we need to be aware of, consumer sentiment, 10 o'clock. Okay. So we could just get between for the first half hour of the market, right? 9:30 to 10 until that report comes out. We could just see a lot of chop and just slow market movement until that report comes out at 10. So just be aware of that. You always want to know every day, what is coming up, any reports, any announcements. So 10 o'clock, that's what we're going to be watching. Consumer sentiment. You want to be able to have a plan for when those announcements come out, right? So the question is, do you want to be in a trade during that announcement? Do you want to try to get in and out of a trade before that, which is possible, right? You have a half hour if you can find something and get in and out. Or do you want to just wait until after that report comes out, right? Because the market can get at times can get very volatile when these reports do come out. So, and when that happens, the whipsaw that occurs could easily take you out of a trade if it goes against you, right? And you never know which direction it's going to go. And sometimes they go both directions, right? You'll get a big bearish drop and then you'll get a big bullish run. And, so you just have to come up with your own trading plan in terms of how you want to trade around reports like that. So 10 o'clock, again, you could easily get in and out of a trade before that. If you do want to hold through an announcement, just be aware that things can get a little volatile, right? So you want to just plan ahead. Take a look at the SPY. So right now with, again, with the NASDAQ, we're looking at pushing higher, right? S&P, we are looking at inside action right now, right? See if during, we've got another 15, 18 minutes or so, 17 minutes. See if we can push up, right? It'd be nice to, if we can break above this doji here on the S&P. The NASDAQ is pushing higher. So I'd like to be able to see this, continue pushing to get above these levels here when the market opens. But right now, in terms of the SPY, doji yesterday, so we did get a gap up, right? Now this is, for those of you who, keep an eye on, SPY and the Qs, like, yesterday here, right? So you had a bearish candle gapping up. So should be a pretty good gap and go, right? If you just think about the SPY on its own, you could look at that and go, okay, well, that's a bullish gap and go. But then when you look over here on the SPY and where price opened, it didn't gap, right? So I'm sorry, on the ES. So again, I always like to just, for reality check, look over here on the ES and the NASDAQ, just to get a sense for, is this really going to be a strong gap and go? And of course, yesterday it wasn't, right? It gapped up and it really just flat. Now, the Qs on the other hand, right, did get a nice little gap yesterday. So, and we're looking at maybe a tiny little gap today. So, let's jump in. We have 15 minutes. Let's jump into some of our usual suspects in terms of the tickers that we follow. Let me go to new share here. Ron, PLTR, AMD, Baba, Baidu, plug. Absolutely. Yep. We're so right now, somebody's joining. AMD. Let's take a look at AMD, because right now, right, we could go through all these tests, but it's easy just to look right now. Tesla, NVIDIA, which is surprising because NVIDIA, there was news today about NVIDIA and about how profitable the company is, and it's one of the strongest companies out there. And there's no news catalyst, right? You'd think that would make this the price jump here, but we're looking at inside action here, inside action on NVIDIA. Same on Amazon. Now we got a little bit different picture here on AMD. So let's give me 1 second to move some things around and move the chat pane over. Let's look at, let me jump into a different screen. Okay, let's go to AMD, see what we're looking at. Okay, so AMD, I mean, look at that gap yesterday. Beautiful gap. Now, and it's gapping up again. So let's just see. Let me adjust some of these lines real quick. I usually do this all pre-market, but I had a call today with real life trading internal call. Just looking at the schedule for next month. So I didn't get a chance to do all this, but Just move these lines around just so we have them. Okay, so what I'm doing here is just marking out the pre-market high, pre-market low. And AMD just nice trending. I mean, like, look at that. If you look at the zoom in here, right? I mean, look at this. That looks like an intraday chart, right? Really nice price action here, pre-market. News on AMD. Let's just see what the oh, that's what I was talking about right here. NVIDIA nears the $1 trillion market cap. So again, surprised that NVIDIA isn't making a bigger move pre-market, just sideways action. Just looking here to see if there's anything that really nothing posting in terms of news about this gap, but we do have a nice little gap coming up on AMD. So where are we looking? So this is on a 3-month chart. Let me expand this. Let's go in here and let's look at the all right. So if you look at AMD, just these are the levels, right? The pre-market levels align with this point here and here, right? So there's clearly a little bit of overhead resistance, right? We're coming into it. So just be aware of that. That's if we zoom in from back here, right? So we're just going back in time. You can see here that this level here and here, right? Those are previous levels of resistance. So there could be a little bit of a battle going on today to get through those levels. So just that's why you also want to be aware of that pre-market high, pre-market low. That is a zone right now, right, where AMD previously had trouble getting through, right? We obviously got through it here, but once we got back below those levels, that became resistance. So we're coming into some overhead resistance there. Just be aware of that, but it could easily just blow through that, especially with this momentum that it has right now. All right, let's take a look at some of those tickers that Ron will look at yours, PLTR. I also have my gap scanner, PLTR. So inside action, right? So it's an inside day right now. We are, and we're right up into, so PLTR has made a nice move here, right? No question about it. We're right. This is the weekly 100. Okay. So that's what we're battling right now, that weekly 100. So just inside price action today, right? So we got to get through this level here. We got to break through that 100, got to get above here. You can clearly see the rejection here and that we're struggling to get through it. Right now, you're looking at an inside day, right? So this could just require just a little bit of a sideways action here and then look to pop. But right now, the PLTR, you're just looking at an inside day currently. AMD, we looked at. Let's look at BABA. Okay, same thing with BABA, inside day, right? We're not breaking out one way or the other. Let's look at this on. Okay, so 3 bearish days in a row. Trading into the upper part of yesterday's price action right now. But again, inside day. So there's really no direction right now. Just an inside day, no gap. I'm not seeing, looks like the high from yesterday, right? If I look at the high from yesterday, just right? We're underneath it. So right now, not gapping on BABA. Baidu was the other one. I'm going through Ron's and then I'll get to the other ones. Now, Baidu, you do have a gap, right? So high from yesterday is right here, gapping above. Let's zoom in here on the daily chart. Okay, so we do have a bearish candle and it's gapping up, right? So technically, bullish gap and go, right? Bearish candle yesterday, gap up. Now, the only thing, again, you always have to look at these gaps and kind of rate them, go, okay, is this a really good gap or is this just a well, this is an right? It's gapping. Right now we're at 120. Let's just throw a line in here, right? We're gapping right to these moving averages. So first of all, anybody who is short through here is not panicking, right? Plus, Baidu is, it gaps a lot, right? So gaps, people, anything that gaps a lot, people are not going to be as reactive to it. But anybody who got short through here isn't panicking on this gap. Plus, we're gapping right into some moving averages, right? So, there's not a lot of fear right now in terms of that. Yes, technically it is a bullish gap and go, but it's not like it's a strong, one that is creating a lot of fear and greed. So if you're going to trade that, just be aware of that. It's, it is gapping into some moving averages and, it's not really trapping, right? Anybody who got short through here isn't trapped, right? People from yesterday, yeah, but the volume from yesterday, right, isn't that spectacular, right? So not a ton of people are going to get trapped and are going to panic. So I could plug real quick. We've got 6 more minutes. We can get through all these. All right, so plug inside day, right? So nothing to really look at here, just inside price action, just chopping around. Daily chart here. So, nice push off this level here. It's a really nice candle here, right? So nice candle. It would be nice just to see if this is just a 3-bar pullback right here, right? If price can hold up here and not keep going lower, and then look for it to go up. But, right now, today, you're looking at some inside, another inside day on plug, right? But keep an eye on this. It would be nice to see this level hold here. Let's throw on, I'm just curious if we throw on some fibs from this level here. So yeah, you want this to hold. If you're looking to go bullish, I don't know if you're in this in a swing or if you're looking for a bullish move, this is the level, right? This is where the buyers have to step in here on the daily chart. So we go from this low up to here, you pull back, we're into that buying zone, right? Anywhere from the 38.2, 61.8, we're right into that area here, right? So we're right now, we're right in that 50% range. So this level's got to hold, right? Based on the fibs. But today, in terms of trading it today, we're looking at an inside day. Let's look at run for win. Okay. Again, inside day, right? Here's the high from yesterday. We're just inside yesterday's price action. So yesterday, right? So yesterday we did break above this previous doji, but came right back in, right? So opened up as an inside day, broke above, but then came right back down, closed inside of yesterday's candle, right? So we have yesterday, even though it broke above, it closed inside. Now we're trading inside again, right? So it's just building pressure at this point. But as of in terms of a direction right now, we're inside yesterday's price action. So wait for it to break above, pick a direction. MDB. Corey's calling out MDB. Let's see. MDB. It's pretty good volume on the daily. Yesterday's low. Right. So, okay. So Corey, right here we are. We technically we've got some prints below yesterday's low. So we have this doji candle from yesterday, right? Here's the weekly 200, right here, right? So you got the 10 EMA on the daily crossing over the weekly 200. So you've got some pretty good support down below. But also, here's the thing that right here, right? There's no pre-market volume at all, right? There's 475. There's 500 shares. There's 400 shares, right? There's no pre-market action, right? There's no volume. My rule is there's got to be a minimum of 10,000 shares being traded pre-market for me to consider looking at it. And you just don't have that right now, right? Now, does that mean it can't, when the market opens, it can't run? Of course it can. But right now, in terms of like a gap down, yeah, there's nobody's panicking on this right now. And chances are it may not even open with a gap down, right? But you do have some really good support here on the weekly 200. Even if it does open slightly below, there's no volume here to indicate that it's going to be a powerful gap. Let's go back to BABA. When it's posting something more about BABA. All right, so there's the bell, right? So BABA just opened, right? So no gap, right? Inside day. So if you're going to look to trade BABA, expect some chop until it picks a direction. All right. I think we got through all this. Okay. So I'm going to have to say goodbye to everybody out there on YouTube. Thank you for being with us on this Friday before Memorial Day. Hope you have a great long weekend. Good luck trading today. Be patient. Again, holiday weekend coming up. We're looking at some inside price action on the broader markets. So be patient and